Greetings, all. Jess Romero here. So, for this week's assignment, the JSTOR assignment, I decided to focus on a subject that I have been interested in researching for a while now that I hope to write regarding my dissertation. And that is the United States and its relations to that of the Republic of Iraq. And so I focused on keywords in JSTOR such as the United States, America, Iraq war, trade, interrelations, foreign affairs, things of that nature. I came up with several articles, but I chose these three as it talks about the assignment to choose three. And the first one was by a gentleman by the name of Daniel J. Cormier from the U.S. Naval War College. And this is titled "Will the United States Learn from the Iraq War?" In this article, he briefly talks about a study that was conducted by the United States Army War College and facilitated and ordered by the U.S. Army Chief of Staff, General Raymond D. Ordonio, and details several different former chiefs of staff as well as former commanding generals of MNCI Iraq or MNFI Iraq, Multinational Force Iraq, four-star general command that was over Operation Iraqi Freedom for Iraq. And in this study, analysis is done in the historicalness of this war, how effective it was, the outcomes of the war in Iraq, whether America achieved its goals, failures, things of that nature. It's more of a command level and Army War College level AAR, if you will, from the Army as a veteran myself. We do after action reviews. So this is more of a military general officer executive AAR in a sense. And the second one was the Iraq War Strategic Overreach by America and also Al Qaeda by Frederick Wehe from the RAND Corporation. And this is from a book. This is a chapter from a book from America's Response to Terrorism, The Long Shadow of 9/11. So this book basically details the analysis of both America as well as Al Qaeda, and that it analyzes and looks at both America and Al Qaeda's objectives, their goals, their failures, their successes, their adaptations, if you will, the long-term effect between the two, and what they did in contributing towards what we see today in Iraq and in the region, if you will. And so that I felt was very interesting. And so the third one was from Oxford Journals, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, from Tim Doon and Khadija Mutlaj, called America After Iraq. And this details America in its role, its position after the war in Iraq, Operation Iraqi Freedom, 2003 onward. And it's a reflection of America's, I guess you could say, its failures in trying to meet certain objectives in Iraq, as well as what impact did America have and how that had an impact on the United States. So these three articles I found very interesting. And from what I found, they had multiple sources. Each of them had multiple sources from government, military sources, if you will, firsthand accounts, military reports, Army War College, Department of Defense documents, papers, white papers, if you will, military government documentation, as well as a plethora of analysis from various different personnel who served directly there and had interrelations between the government of Iraq and obviously the United States government. So JSTOR is an incredible source. I have used it for years. I continue to use it. I use it for academic as well as my own personal studies. There's so much there. There is, I appreciate the way that you can search it through various different keywords, as well as being able to subcategorize things, whether you're trying to look for books or papers or journals, things of that nature, peer reviewed or not. So I appreciate that. I would say that JSTOR is one of my most important sources or means of acquiring sources for my academic writing. I believe that it is profoundly instrumental, and I think or I know that it will play a significant role in my studies, currently as well as in the future. And so, with regard to this week's assignment and my three articles, I found that ultimately the methodology of the research that was done from all three of these is quite extensive. Again, all three were historical analysis of America's role, its impact, its the effects, and the long term ramifications of the United States invading Iraq, and what that means and what that's going to mean for the United States. I mean, we've seen some of this play out with the continued, reactionary consequences, such as the withdrawal out of Afghanistan, Russia and Ukraine, China soon to take Taiwan, and furthermore, um, the profoundness in how the world order is changing as we speak. So I think the United States' invasion into Iraq, as these three analyses point out, is one of miscalculation, one of failure to understand the cultures um, within that nation in that region, and ultimately, um, something that we have to continue to analyze and respect. Otherwise, we're going to be continuing the same things over and over. Anyway, so that was my assignment for this week. Okay, just from now. Take care. Bye.